last week, really after kind of going back and watching the entire game on film, it really just kind of confirmed what I said in the post game. I mean, our guys played extremely hard. One thing we talked about going into that game was really playing with a chip on our shoulder, and I really felt like the first half our guys did that. And there's a lot of good things on there. Third down on both sides was better. We knew we'd have a challenge with Houston being number one on third defense, but I think we were 7 of 14 on third down offensively, which was one of our betters of the year. And then a good lesson for our guys, the 7 that we converted were all on touchdown drives. And the time that we didn't have the third down conversions were no points. And then defensively, we did a little bit better job on third down. Special teams, we've been talking about that the last couple of weeks, and again, just the consistency that team brings for us, and to be able to have 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns, I think was really a big positive, obviously. The biggest thing, negatives offensively, the series we had down there and went for it on 4th and 1. Thought we had something lined up and ended up not converting there, got no points there in the red zone. And then there was really 3 key drives there in the third quarter where our defense actually, did a good job getting us the ball back on offense. And then we went 3 and out on 2 of those, and then maybe only 5 plays, and just ultimately could not run the ball the way we needed to and the way we have this year. And that was probably offensively the biggest negative there. But watching the tape, it was great to see Timmy back healthy. And I mean, every time he touches the ball, he's a guy that you feel like he's going to make something happen. And really proud of the scramble plays. That's something we've really been talking to the wide receivers and tight ends and Timmy about, is when the play breaks down, there's opportunities for big plays, and we hit those. And then defensively, really it was just the big plays. I think up until this game, we had done a better job in limiting some of the big play touchdowns. But obviously the 97-yarder, that was a backbreaker right there, and it's hard to do that and win. And just felt like guys kind of ran out of a little gas right there at the end defensively. So obviously disappointed with the overall ending to the game and not being able to pull off what would have been a nice upset there. But really encouraged by a lot of things that I see from our team. And I think our guys' ability to show up each and every week and play, I think that's uncommon. And I think that is something that gives me a lot of hope for what we have coming here the rest of this year and moving forward. Moving on to Cincinnati, big challenge. I think Brian just told me it's going to be our 4th top 20 team. We're the only non-Power 5 team to play 4 top 20 teams in one season. So it's a big challenge, but again, like we've been talking about, a huge opportunity. Based off the AP poll, this is the highest ranked team that we've ever played at home in Ray J. And they're 18-1 in their last 2 seasons, with the 1 loss being a 3-point loss to Georgia right there in the bowl game last year. And obviously, we see what Georgia's doing right now. They've done an incredible job recruiting. If you just kind of look at where they were maybe 3 or 4 years ago to where they are now, I heard maybe there's going to be about 15 NFL scouts at this game Friday night, and they got NFL draft picks everywhere. Their corner, number 1, Ahmad Gardner, is projected first-round draft pick. I mean, I don't know if he's given up 1 or 2 completions in his career, maybe some unbelievable stat. Running back, Jerome Ford, number 24, is one of the best in the country, number 2 in the country overall, and with 15 touchdowns. He's a difference maker, and their quarterback, I think, is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I think he has a very bright future ahead of him at the next level, and we got to find a way to be able to contain him. He can beat you running the ball just as well as throwing the ball. So got some big challenges there, but our guys will be excited to go out there and play again, and looking forward to that opportunity. Friday night will also be senior night, being our last home game. We'll have 10 seniors that'll be honored there before the game, and look forward to having a special night for them. And last thing I would say is I just really want to encourage our students and our fans, alumni, and all of our supporters here in the Bay Area to come out Friday night. I mean, what a great opportunity to watch us play at home against one of the best teams in the country, and looking forward to a great atmosphere. And that was one thing I missed saying in my post game last week. Man, I was really encouraged by the fans that we had for homecoming. Looking up there in the student section, we had a great group of students. And man, they were excited and really brought some good energy to our team on the sidelines, and so that was really encouraging. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Coach, 5 years ago, Cincinnati was in the same boat you were, and they've turned it completely around. Is that something you can look forward to your players and say, hey, look, this is what we can be down the road?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Looking at it, I think Coach Fickle's first year, they might have won 4 games. And I talked to him a little bit about that, and ultimately recruiting was a big piece of that, and they've done an exceptional job in recruiting, and it's kind of planting those seeds, and then 3 or 4 years later, you kind of end up with a team that he has right now. But now I've said for a while, this league is a league that's a little bit cyclical. There's teams that you start off, and then in year 3 and 4, they're at the top. I mean, I'm looking at Cincinnati's defense, and just about every one of those guys are juniors, seniors, or graduates. And so they've been building this roster for a while, and they're definitely maximizing it with a very successful year.
Jeff, Timmy's maturity, which you see every day in practice, can you talk about Timmy today versus, say, going into his first start and how he's improved?
Well, I think the biggest thing is kind of probably a similar example to our team, maybe. All the struggles and adversity and, playing the schedule that we played. I mean, it hasn't been perfect for Timmy by any stretch, right? And from his first game played against NC State to maybe where he was last week. But really that adversity, the good plays, the bad plays, the experiences, that's ultimately what you want to see from a young player is, are they learning from that, and are they getting better? And that's what I see with Timmy. I mean, he made some really special plays. I think they almost had him sacked there the other night, and somehow he was like a Houdini, came out of it and went and ran for a big 3rd down conversion right there. And I'm not sure that he would have been as confident in understanding what he needed to do early in the year. So he's getting better, and these experiences, just like our team, as long as we don't let these games, you may lose a game, but you shouldn't leave the game defeated. Right? Failure is not final unless you allow it to be that way, right? So you've got to take these learning experiences and get better from it. And I believe Timmy has done that, and I think that the future is very bright for him.
Jerome Ford, if I remember correctly, when he hit the transfer portal, was a guy that was down to USF in Cincinnati, and I know KJ Sales was trying to get him to come here. Obviously, chooses Cincinnati and just it explodes. I mean, just to watch his progression as someone I watched him in high school, to watch his progression, from Alabama to Cincinnati, just what has he done well and improved?
Yeah, well, he's a special player. I knew him a little bit in high school whenever he signed with Alabama, and then I hadn't been here for maybe 2 weeks whenever he kind of hit the portal, and it was a little bit late that first week of January, and I believe maybe I talked to one of his coaches. I never got a chance to really talk to him, but to me, as I've watched him play in these last 2 years and have a lot of success, it's just, again, a reminder of the talent that's here in the Bay Area, and knowing that, hey, once we get this thing set up and kind of get our foundation established, these are the type of players that, we need to be able to keep right here in the Bay Area. And I think that, this signing class is giving us an opportunity maybe to do that with some players. And, but yeah, there's no doubt he's a special player. He's had not just for our league. I mean, look across the whole country. He's number 2 in the country in touchdown runs, and he's done it against Georgia. He's done it against Notre Dame. He's done it against everybody that he's played, and so he's definitely a big part of what they do offensively, and hopefully in the future will be an attractive option for the many talented young men like himself that are in this area.
Coach, you got the lead early against Houston. How important is that against Cincinnati to play with the lead?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we've had the lead early in several of these games, and I told the guys last week at halftime, like, hey, there's nothing magic I can tell you. We've been here before, and ultimately for us to truly, take that next step, we're going to have to find a way to finish these games. And there's no magic talk you can get or no magic plays you can come up with. You've just got to play consistently for 2 more quarters. And, so really my message to our guys is not about let's go get an early lead and then just try to hold on. I think when you try to hold on, you're just staring at the scoreboard or something like that, then, you know, it usually doesn't work out for you. Really what my focus is with our guys is, and we've got to play our best for 4 quarters. Like, we've got to be able to not, I mean, these are good teams that we're playing. These aren't teams that we were some big favorite and then we just let them come beat us in the second half. I mean, we're like 14-point underdogs in some of those games early and whatever, 24-point underdogs this week. So, you know, in order to pull off an upset like that, you've got to be at your best for 4 quarters. You know, we're not at a place where we can make the kind of mistakes that we've made in the second half and expect to upset some really good teams.
When you're coming off your bye, starting with Tulsa, and probably